Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are Flix and Phils. Today we're going to be watching something a little bit different for our Valentine's Day movie. So it's Pride and Prejudice. This one was picked by our awesome patrons over in our polls that we host on Patreon.
Yes, I'm really excited for this one. Everybody loves love and I love a love story. So the energy, the drama and the tension all with one glance.
Once again, neither of us have seen this one, though I have heard of Mr. Darcy. Apparently makes all the ladies a bit weak at the knees, so I guess we'll find out what all the fuss is about.
Alrighty, well before we jump into it, why don't you hit subscribe to our channel and head on over and check out our Patreon. Over there you can vote on the upcoming films, and while you're at it, why don't you check out our Discord. That's a place where you can talk about everything to do with films. All the links are down below in the description.
Alright, it's time for Pride and Prejudice and for me to see what tips I can pick up. Alright, let's go. This is what people think of when they think of England, I reckon.
Hopefully. So pretty. You're gonna love this film.
It's Keira. Walking through the fields reading her book. How perfect.
How good, eh?
All their wet laundry is very white still.
So plain. Oh.
Lydia? Lily?
Classic young teenage girls.
Yes. They're like a wolfhound, but a little one.
Yeah.
My dear Mr. Bennett, have you heard? Netherfield Park is let at last. Do you not want to know who has taken it?
But as you wish to tell me, my dear, I doubt I have any choice in the matter.
Yeah.
It's proper love.
I know that feeling.
People.
People.
For we may not visit if you do not, as you well know, Mr. Bennett. Listening, we'll never listen. You must, Papa, at once.
Oh, rather desperate to find a match.
Already have.
Oh.
Has? Oh, Mr. Bennett, how can you tease me so? Have you no compassion for my poor nerves?
Oh, you mistake me, my dear. I have the highest respect for them. They've been my constant companions these 20 years.
Is he amiable?
Who? Is he handsome?
Who? He's sure to be handsome.
With 5,000 a year, it would not matter if he had warts and a leer.
Who's got what?
I will give my hearty consent to his marrying whichever of the girls he chooses.
Will he come to the ball tomorrow, Papa?
I believe so.
Oh my gosh.
Please, you know, I need
This is so exciting.
Yeah.
They were mine. Oh, well, then I'll do your mending for a week. Oh, return me a new bonnet. 2 weeks.
Ooh.
2 weeks I'll do it. So you take it for me.
What are they trying to barter for then?
I think her shoes.
Oh,
her nice
okay.
shoes, and maybe a nice dress. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay.
But wouldn't she want to wear them?
Yeah, you'd think so.
So. Wow, what a nice house.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
I reckon life was actually like this.
For these people, yes.
Yeah.
Unless you were the maids.
Yeah.
There's loads of people.
Yeah. Nice.
That's cool.
Shit. Was that the one of the maids? Was it?
I'm not sure. It's so lively, hey?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh gosh. Why have they all stopped?
Yeah.
To what, ruin the party?
Yeah. It's awkward.
How good of you to come.
So which of the painted peacocks is our Mr. Bingley? Well, he's on the right, and on the left is his sister.
And the person with the quizzical brow?
That is his good friend, Mr. Darcy.
Quizzical brow.
Oh.
Miserable, poor soul.
Miserable he may be, but poor he most certainly is not.
Tell me.
10,000 a year, and he earns half of the derbyshire.
The miserable half.
Oh. The visual half. Oh, so he's very rich. Oh. So he's just really like important. That's why
He's
everyone
just rich.
stopped. That's so crazy.
Yeah. A little bit knobby.
Yeah.
Stop because a rich guy comes
Oh,
in.
ruins the party vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, he does look a bit miserable, doesn't he?
He does.
Ooh.
Mary?
Mr. Bingley, my eldest daughter, you know. Mrs. Bennet, Miss Jane Bennet, Elizabeth, and Miss Mary Bennet.
Oh, it is a pleasure. I have two
Let's
others,
try and
but they're
remember those
already
names.
dancing.
Yeah.
Delighted to make your acquaintance.
And may I introduce Mr. Darcy of Pemberley in Derbyshire.
Well, he's a right sour one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's not what I expected.
No, I was gonna say, 'cause I've heard of Mr. Darcy. I was
Yeah.
expecting like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not what I expected. I thought he'd be more of like a Hugh Grant type.
Yeah.
And like
Like it here in Hertfordshire, Mr. Bingley.
a bit more smiley.
Mr. Bennett.
She is stunning, that girl.
Yeah,
She is so stunning.
she's been in a few things, I think.
Oh, party pooper.
Yeah, so she's gonna be like, alright, mate.
Yeah. Boring. Yeah.
Yeah, go dance with another guy.
Yeah.
Never seen so many pretty girls in my life.
You are dancing with the only handsome girl in the room.
She is the most beautiful creature I have ever beheld. But her sister Elizabeth is very agreeable.
Perfectly tolerable, I dare say. Not handsome enough to tempt me. You'd better return to your partner. and enjoy
Rude.
your smile.
That is so rude.
Keira Knightley, not handsome enough to tempt Mr. Darcy, eh?
Ooh.
Count your blessings, Lizzie. If he liked you, you'd have to talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah.
As it is, I wouldn't dance with him for all of Derbyshire, let alone the miserable half.
Aw.
It is a pity she's not more handsome.
Mama?
Oh, but Lizzie will never admit that she's plain. Of course,
What?
it's my Jane who is considered the beauty of the county.
Mama,
When
please.
she was only 15, there was a gentleman so much in love with her that I was sure he would make her an offer. However,
That's so
he did write
rude.
her some very pretty verses.
And that
Is she drunk or something?
first discovered the power of poetry in driving away love.
I thought the poetry was the food of love.
Of a fine, stout love, it may. But if it is only a vague inclination, I'm convinced one poor sonnet will kill it stone dead.
So what do you recommend to encourage affection?
Dancing. Even if one's partner is barely tolerable.
Ooh.
Good on you.
Yeah.
But he's gonna like that she can keep up with him or exceed him intellectually.
Yeah, I think.
And also be snarky.
When you die, Mr. Bennett, which may in fact be very soon, our girls will be left without a roof over their head, nor a Netherfield ward.
Ooh.
Praise the Lord.
It is from Caroline Bingley. She has invited me to dine with her.
Ah. Is she just annoyed that he's not going to be there?
I guess so.
Why would you go on a horseback? That's crazy.
A sore throat, a fever, and a headache. There is nothing much wrong with me.
Oh.
This is ridiculous.
If Jane does die, it'd be a comfort to know I was in pursuit of Mr. Bingley.
But she may well perish with the shame of having such a mother.
Ooh.
I like the kind of
Yeah.
humour between them.
A little back and forth.
I'm pretty sure the mum is just taking the piss the whole time.
I think so.
Like mostly.
But I think she also does believe that like the woman shouldn't be too back and forth with the men. She probably does want them just to be.
Style.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good Lord, Miss Elizabeth, did you walk here?
I did. I'm so sorry. How is my sister?
She's upstairs.
That's so awkward. She actually got a cold.
It's actually fully sick.
Could she not just go?
Listening to my sister so diligently, she is in far better comfort here than she would have been at home.
It's a pleasure. I mean, not a pleasure that she's ill, of course not. A pleasure that she's here.
You write uncommonly fast, Mr. Darcy.
You're mistaken, I write rather slowly.
How many letters you must have occasion to write, Mr. Darcy? Letters of business, too. How odious I should think them.
It is fortunate, then, that they fall to my lot instead of yours.
You tell your sister that I long to see her.
I've already told her once by your desire.
I do dote on her. I was quite in raptures at her beautiful little design for a table.
Perhaps you will give me leave to defer your raptures till I write again. At present, I have not room enough to do them justice.
Well, I think it's amazing you young ladies have the patience to be so accomplished.
What do you mean, Charles?
You all paint tables and play the piano and embroider cushions. I never heard of a young lady, but people say she is accomplished.
The word is indeed applied too liberally. I cannot boast of knowing more than half a dozen women in all my acquaintance that are truly accomplished.
Nor I, to be sure.
Goodness, you must comprehend a great deal in the idea.
I do.
Absolutely. She must have a thorough knowledge of music, singing, drawing, dancing, and the modern languages to deserve the word. And something in her air and manner of walking.
And of course she must improve her mind by extensive reading.
I'm no longer surprised at your knowing only 6 accomplished women. I rather want to know you're knowing any.
Are you so severe on your own sex?
I never saw such a woman. She would certainly be a fearsome thing to behold.
Elizabeth,
I much prefer him.
Me too.
will you not join us, Mr. Darcy?
You can only have 2 motives, Caroline, and I would interfere with either.
What can he mean?
The surest way of disappointing him will be to ask him nothing about it.
But do tell us, Mr. Darcy.
Either you are in each other's confidence and you have secret affairs to discuss, or you are conscious that your figures appear to the greatest advantage by walking. If the first, I should get in your way. If the second, I can admire you much better from here.
How shall we punish him for such a speech?
You could always laugh at him.
Oh, no. Mr. Darcy is not to be teased.
You're too proud, Mr. Darcy. And would you consider pride a fault or a virtue?
That I couldn't say.
Because we're doing our best to find a fault in you.
Maybe it's that I find it hard to forgive the follies and vices of others, or their offences against me. My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
Oh dear, I cannot tease you about that. What a shame, for I dearly love to laugh.
A family trait, I think.
Mr. Darcy.
Miss Bennett?
There she is.
Mr. Bingley, I don't know how to thank you.
You're welcome any time you feel the least bit poorly.
Thank you for your stimulating company. It has been most instructive.
Not at all. Pleasure is all mine.
I feel like they hate each other.
Yeah,
or they're going to become good friends. I don't know which.
That's what I was trying to work out. I couldn't work out if she was jealous of Keira or if... Ooh.
Mr. Collins at your service.
Oh. You're in a house full of a lot of opinionated women.
What a superbly featured room, and what excellent boiled potatoes. Many years since I've had such an exemplary vegetable. To which of my fair cousins should I compliment the excellence of the cooking?
Mr. Collins, we are perfectly able to keep a cook.
Excellent. I'm very pleased the estate can afford such a living. I'm honoured to have as my patroness Lady Catherine de Bourgh. You've heard of her, I presume. Small rectory abuts her estate, Rosings Park, and she often condescends to drive by my humble dwelling in her little phaeton and ponies.
Does she have any family?
One daughter, the heiress of Rosings and very extensive property. These are the kind of little delicate compliments which are always
They desperately want to rip into him.
He's so awkward, eh?
Particularly bound.
He is.
Oh.
How happy for you, Mr. Collins, to possess the talent for flattering with such delicacy.
Are you familiar with Fordyce's sermons, Miss Bennet? Mrs. Bennet, you do know that I have been bestowed by the good grace of Lady Catherine de Bourgh a parsonage of no mean size.
I have become aware of the fact.
Well, it is my avowed hope that soon I may find a mistress for it, and I have to inform you that the eldest Miss Bennet has captured my special attention.
Unfortunately, it is incumbent upon me to hint that the eldest Miss Bennet is very soon to be engaged.
Engaged?
But Miss Lizzie, next to her in both age and beauty, would make anyone an excellent partner.
No!
Not you agree?
Don't stitch Lizzie up.
Indeed. Indeed. Very agreeable alternative.
He's just glad for anyone, I think.
Yes.
Yours, I believe.
Willing to go what they want.
Ooh.
Yes, so. Who's the officer?
Did you drop yours on purpose, Lizzie? Mr. Wickham, Lieutenant.
An enchanted lieutenant.
What are you up to, Liddy? I just happened to be looking for some ribbon. Wait, for the ball?
Shall we all look for some ribbon together?
Oh. There's 2 young girls.
Yeah.
Did you drop your hanky on purpose?
It must be the shame of the regiment.
What laughing stock?
What do your superiors do with you?
I Oh, these two like each other.
Yeah.
I'm of next to no importance, so it's easily done.
He's much more pleasant than Mr. Darcy so far.
Yes, and he's an officer.
And he's an officer.
Sure to invite Mr. Wickham. He is a credit to his profession. Lydia, you can't invite people to other people's balls.
Oh.
Mr. Darcy didn't like
Of
that.
course, you must come, Mr. Wickham.
He's
If
fuming.
you'll excuse me, ladies, enjoy the day.
Oh.
Do you plan to go to the Netherfield ball then, Mr. Wickham?
Perhaps. How long has Mr. Darcy been a guest there?
They must know each other.
About a month. Forgive me, but are you acquainted with him? With Mr. Darcy?
Indeed, I've been connected with his family since infancy. You may well be surprised, Miss Elizabeth, especially given our cold greeting this afternoon.
Well, I hope that your
do you-
plans in favour of Meryton will not be affected by your relations with the gentleman.
Oh no, it is not for me to be driven away. If he wishes to avoid seeing me, he must go.
Oh.
Not I. My father managed his estate. We grew up together, Darcy and I. His father treated me like a second son, loved me like a son. We were both with him the day he died. With his last breath, his father bequeathed me the rectory in his estate. He knew I had my heart set on joining the church, but Darcy ignored his wishes and gave the living to another man.
Oh.
But why?
Ooh.
Jealousy. Well, he loved me better and Darcy couldn't stand it.
Oh
So
dear.
now I'm a poor foot soldier, too lowly even to be noticed.
I'm so pleased you're here.
Oh my.
Her hair looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like the little pearls in the back.
Must be so many pins in that and stuff, right?
I would think so, yeah. Who is she looking for?
The officer.
Is it the officer?
It's gotta be, yeah.
Surely, right?
Collins.
No.
Perhaps you will do me the honour, Miss Elizabeth.
She's busy.
Lightness of foot.
Oh. What does she mean detained?
Yeah.
It does afford the opportunity to lavish.
Oh, for God's sake.
What was it?
Lavish upon one's partner.
My informant tells me that he would have been less
Delicate
inclined.
attentions, which is my.
That he would be less inclined to be engaged, were it not for the. Were it not for the presence in Netherfield of a certain gentleman.
Which is my primary object of the evening.
That gentleman barely warrants the name.
Ooh.
It is my intention, if I may be so bold, to remain close to you throughout the evening.
Awkward.
He is so awkward.
To remain close to you. No. She's busy.
Are they trying to make a point of the guy's height with that scene?
I don't know.
It was like zoomed into his chest and then like slowly comes up.
Seems mean, hey?
It's not the other guy's fault he's short.
No, I know.
The other guy's not going to be happy about this.
It's gonna be so mad.
Most invigorating. Yeah.
It's your turn to say something, Mr. Darcy. I talked about the dance. Now you ought to remark on the size of the room or the number of couples.
I like her.
I'm perfectly happy to oblige. Please advise me of what you would like most to hear.
That reply will do for present. Perhaps by and by I may observe that private balls are much pleasanter than public ones. For now we may remain silent.
She is so funny.
Yeah.
Get it together, Darcy.
He's so
Talk of the rule while dancing?
he's socially inept, isn't he?
Mm.
No, I prefer to be unsociable and taciturn. Makes it all so much more enjoyable, don't you think?
Tell me, do you and your sisters very often walk to Meryton?
Yes, we often walk to Meryton. It's a great opportunity to meet new people. In fact, when you met us, we just had the pleasure of forming a new acquaintance.
Mr. Wickham is blessed with such happy manners. He is sure of making friends. Whether he's capable of retaining them is less certain.
He's been so unfortunate as to lose your friendship.
Poo-poo.
And I dare say that is an irreversible event.
It is. Why do you ask such a question?
To make out your character, Mr. Darcy.
And what have you discovered?
Very little.
Ah.
I hear such different accounts of you as puzzle me exceedingly.
I hope to afford you more clarity in the future.
These balls look so fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to something like this. Have fun.
Yeah. Much nicer than just going into a random room and just
Raving. I mean, that's fun too. But this is just more gentle.
Is that Mr. Darcy of Hamley in Derbyshire?
I believe so.
I must make myself known to him immediately.
But
He's
sir-
the nephew of my esteemed patroness, Lady Catherine.
Mr. Collins, he will consider it an impertinence.
Mr. Darcy? Mr. Darcy?
This is mean.
Mr. Darcy? Good evening.
What interesting relatives you have, Miss
Oh.
Elizabeth.
Ooh.
We fully expect a most advantageous marriage.
Oh.
Oh, poor
What's
Mary.
wrong with her?
She just wanted to play the piano and he told her no.
Oh, do you reckon that was it?
Yeah, she said I've been practicing all week.
Oh, no.
She doesn't like the balls and
No,
dancing.
she doesn't.
She just likes playing music.
No.
Poor Mary.
Charles, you cannot be serious.
What?
Ooh. She doesn't like the family.
Yeah. Jog on, sister.
I think she thinks like the family's not good enough.
I was hoping, if it would not trouble you, that I might solicit a private audience with Miss Elizabeth in the course of the morning.
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
Lizzie will be very happy indeed. Everyone out. Mr.
Oh,
Collins.
everyone's got to get out. Why don't they go somewhere else?
No, wait, please.
Do it later.
You have nothing to say to me that anybody need not hear.
No nonsense, Lizzie. If you desire, you will stay where you are. Everyone else to the drawing room. Mr. Bennett? Now?
It's breakfast. Oh, this is Stitch Up.
Thank you.
He's trying.
He is trying.
Aw.
Dear Miss Elizabeth, I'm sure my attentions have been too marked to be mistaken. Almost as soon as I entered the house, I singled you out as the companion of my future life. But before I am run away with my feelings, I may state my reasons for marrying. Firstly, that it is the duty of a clergyman to set the example of matrimony in his parish. Nothing remains but for me to assure you in the most animated language of the violence of my affection.
Mr. Collins!
And that no reproach on the subject of fortune will cross my lips once we're married.
You could not make me happy, and I'm convinced I'm the last woman in the world who could make you happy.
Besides, you should take into account that despite the manifold attractions, it's by no means certain that another offer of marriage may ever be made to you.
Mr. Collins!
So I must conclude that you simply seek to increase my love by suspense,
Sir.
according to the usual practice of elegant females.
Sir, I am not the sort of female to torment a respectable man. Please understand me. I cannot accept you.
Ooh.
I'm not coming in and laugh.
Oh no.
I feel like this young one likes him, yeah.
Mary likes him. Quickly, sort it out.
Your mother insists on you marrying Mr. Collins.
Yes, I shall never see her again.
Lizzie, from this day onward, you must be a stranger to one of your
Who
parents.
will maintain you when your father is dead?
Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins. I will never see you again if you do.
Let's go, Dad.
Ha ha ha.
Good man.
Ungrateful child!
Jane? What's the matter?
I can't read that rhyme. Is he leaving? The sister of Ben in his ear.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's evil.
I don't understand what would take him from Netherfield. Why would he not know when he was to return? Read it, I don't mind. Caroline sees that her brother is in love with you and has taken him off to persuade him otherwise.
But I know her to be incapable of willfully deceiving anyone.
Don't be silly.
That he does not love me and never.
He loves you, Jane. Do not give up. Go to our aunt and uncle's in London. Let it be known you are there, and I am sure he will come to you.
Aww.
I've come here to tell you the news. Mr. Collins and I are engaged.
Engaged?
Oh no.
Yes.
Their estate.
No.
They've lost it.
Not all of us can afford to be romantic. I've been offered a comfortable home and protection. It's a lot to be thankful for.
Charlotte.
I'm 27 years old. I've no money and no prospect. I'm already a burden to my parents.
That's really
And I'm
sad.
frightened. So don't judge me, Lizzie.
Oh, this is so complex because Mary's gonna be upset, but if Mary marries him, she'll be upset.
Yeah.
I hope it's gonna be a happy ending. So messy.
So you are Elizabeth Bennet.
I am, your ladyship.
This is my daughter.
It's
very kind of you to ask
Rather
us to
alone
dine,
cost
Lady
upwards of
Catherine.
£300.
Oh, Darcy.
Wait.
What's he doing there?
Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy, I had no idea we had the honour.
Miss Elizabeth, I'm a guest here.
You know my nephew?
Yes, ma'am. I had the pleasure of meeting your nephew in Hertfordshire.
Colonel Fitzwilliam, how'd you do?
My eldest sister is currently in London. Perhaps you happen to see her there.
I haven't been fortunate enough, no.
Play the pianoforte, Miss Bennett.
A little, ma'am, and very poorly.
Your mother should have taken you to town every spring for the benefit of the masters.
I'm sure my mother wouldn't have minded, but my father hates town.
Has your governess left you?
We never had a governess.
5 daughters brought up at home without a governess. I never heard such a thing. Your mother must have been quite a slave to your education.
Not at all, Lady Catherine.
Your younger sisters, are they out in society?
Yes, ma'am, all.
All? Would all 5 out at once? And you only the second? The younger ones out before the elders are married. Your youngest sisters must be very young.
Yes, my youngest is not 16. I think it would be very hard on younger sisters not to have their share of amusement because the elder is still unmarried. It would hardly encourage sisterly affection.
On my word, you give your opinion very decidedly for so young a person. Pray, what is your age?
With 3 younger sisters grown up, your ladyship can hardly expect me to own to it.
Oh, she's so
Declined
shocked.
to answer. I feel like the lady is gonna start to like her.
Maybe, hey.
No, I beg you.
Well, music is my delight. In fact, there are few people in England who have more true enjoyment of music than myself.
Lady Catherine, I'm not afflicted with false modesty. When I say I play poorly...
Come, Lizzie.
Oh dear.
Her ladyship demands it.
Ooh, it's a stern look.
Yeah.
Is she actually going to be quite good?
Well, she claims to not have false modesty, so
Yeah,
I she's gonna be like, bam, bam, bam.
I hope she is. I hope she's real bad. It'll be funny.
How does Georgiana get along, Darcy?
She's quite good.
You mean to frighten me, Mr. Darcy, by coming in all your state to hear me? But I won't be alarmed, even if your sister does play so well.
I'm well enough acquainted with you, Miss Elizabeth, to know that I cannot alarm you, even should I wish it.
What was my friend like in Hertfordshire?
You really care to know? Prepare yourself for something very dreadful. The first time I saw him at the assembly, he danced with nobody at all, even though gentlemen were scarce and there was more than one young lady sitting down without a partner.
I knew nobody beyond my own party.
Oh, nobody can be introduced in a ballroom.
Fitzwilliam, I need you.
I do not have the talent of conversing easily with people I have never met before.
You should take your aunt's advice and practice.
He's very fortunate that she finds it humorous that he's so useless.
Yeah.
So far, Darcy has no redeeming qualities in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm not quite understanding so far.
His social ineptitude isn't endearing.
He's just being mean. Oh dear.
Miss Elizabeth, I have struggled in vain and I can bear it no longer. These past months have been a torment. I came to Rosings with the single object of seeing you. I had to see. I fought against my better judgment, my family's expectation, the inferiority of your birth, my rank and circumstance, all these things, and I'm willing to put aside and ask you to end my agony.
I don't understand.
I love you. Most art, please do me the honour of accepting my hand.
I appreciate the struggle you have been through, and I am very sorry to have caused you pain. Believe me, it was unconsciously done.
Is this your reply?
Yes, sir.
Are you laughing at me? Might I ask why, with so little endeavour at civility, I am thus repulsed?
And I might as well inquire why, with so evident a design of insulting me, you chose to tell me that you like me against your better judgment.
No, believe me, I
If
didn't
I
mean...
was uncivil, then that is some excuse, but I have other reasons. You know I have.
What reasons?
Do you think that anything might tempt me to accept a man who has ruined, perhaps forever, the happiness of a most beloved sister?
Oh.
Do you deny it, Mr. Darcy? That you separated a young couple who loved each other, exposing your friend to the centre of the world for caprice, and my sister to its derision for disappointed hopes, and involving them both in misery of the acutest kind?
I do not deny it.
How could you do it?
Because I believed your sister indifferent to him.
Indifferent?
I watched them most carefully and realised his attachment was deeper than hers.
That's because she's shy.
Bingley, too, is modest and was persuaded she didn't feel strongly
Because
for
you
him.
suggested it.
I did it for his own good.
My sister hardly shows her true feelings to me.
Because she was too shy.
Yeah.
You suspect that his
That's so rude.
fortune had some
No,
bearing
I
on
wouldn't
the
be your
matter.
sister the dishonour, though it was suggested.
What was?
It was made perfectly clear that an advantageous marriage...
Did my sister give that impression?
No. There was, however, I have to admit, the matter with your family.
Our want of connection. Mr. Bingley didn't seem to vex
No, it was
himself
more
about
than that.
How, sir?
It was the lack of propriety shown by your mother, your 3 younger sisters, even on occasion your father.
What did the dad do? The mum was going on and on about the money,
Your sister, I must exclude.
which is bad.
And what about Mr. Wickham?
Mr. Wickham.
What excuse can you give for your behaviour towards him?
You take an eager interest in that gentleman's
He
concerns.
told me of his misfortunes.
Oh, yes, his misfortunes have been very great indeed.
You ruin his chances and yet you treat him with sarcasm.
So this is your opinion of me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Thank you for explaining so fully. Perhaps these offences might have been overlooked had not your pride been hurt by my honesty in admitting scruples about our relationship. Could you expect me to rejoice in the inferiority of your circumstances?
And those are the words of a gentleman.
Yeah.
From the first moment I met you, your arrogance and conceit, your selfish disdain for the feelings of others made me realise that you were the last man in the world I could ever be prevailed upon to marry.
Oh.
Well, he's got some clear things he can patch up to make it work if he wants to.
Yeah, it's easy.
I shall not renew the sentiments which were so disgusting to you. But if I may, I will address the two offences you have laid against me. My father loved Mr. Wickham as a son. In consequence, he left him a generous living. But upon my father's death, Mr. Wickham announced he had no intention of taking orders. He demanded the value of the living which he was given, and which he gambled away within weeks. He then wrote demanding more money, which I refused, after which he severed all acquaintance. He came back to see us last summer, at which point he declared passionate love for my sister, whom he tried to persuade to elope with him. She is to inherit £30,000. When it was made clear he would never receive a penny of that inheritance, he disappeared.
Wickham's
I
a
will not
rat.
attempt to cause the death of Georgiana's despair.
Yeah, I think so.
She was 15 years old. As to the other matter, that of your sister and Mr. Bingley, though the motives which governed me may to you appear insufficient, they were in the service of a friend.
It was kind of obvious that Wickham was going to
Be
have
the
done something,
baddie,
right?
yeah. But still, what's the good point in...
Why did you not tell me? Did he mention Mr. Bingley?
Oh. Maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe it's not a happy ending.
I mean, I presume it would be.
I would have
it's
thought
like
so.
romance, right?
Yeah.
So that's got to come of, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Wow.
The Peak District.
Beautiful.
Bellowing in the wind.
Whoa.
Such beautiful like avenues up to the buildings and stuff
Yeah. Wow. They're so stunning.
as well. Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen a few sculptures where it looks like there's lace on it.
It's
That's incredible.
so incredible.
He's definitely minted.
He is so wealthy.
There's a bust of him in the middle there.
Hey?
There was a bust, like a.
Oh, is it?
sculpture
Got him
of
in the
Darcy
middle.
in the middle there.
Is it?
They look like him. Yeah, this is gonna be him.
Wow.
Yeah, beautiful grounds.
Ooh.
Is there someone actually playing, or is that
I
just
think so.
his sister? Did he say that
She
she was
was
good?
meant to be really good.
Yeah. Is it Darcy?
Oh no. Oh. Oh no.
Miss Elizabeth!
Oh no.
I thought you were in London.
No, I
We
came
were not
back
to
a
come
day
in, we
early,
know
some
you're-
business with my steward.
I'm in Derbyshire with my aunt and uncle.
And are you having a pleasant trip?
Very pleasant. Tomorrow we go to Matlock.
Tomorrow? Are you staying at Lambton?
Yes, at the Rose and Crown. They said that the house was open for visitors. I had no idea.
May I see you back to the village?
No. Bye, Mr. Darcy.
Go after her, Mr. Darcy.
Come on.
Did she not realise it was his sister?
No, I think she did. I think it's just that she's so passionate about her sisters that he's going to be like, I did those things because I'm passionate about my sister. Right? That's why he cut it off with the other boy. Ooh.
My sister, Georgiana.
My brother has told me so much about you. As if we are friends already.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Your unfortunate brother once had to put up with my playing for a whole evening.
But he says you play so well.
Then he has perjured himself most profoundly.
No, I said played quite well.
Oh, quite well is not very well.
He's got a bit more personality around his sister, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's doing a bit better.
Mr. Gardner.
Oh.
Oh no.
Lydia has run away.
This is my fault. If only I had exposed Wickham when I should.
No.
This is grave indeed. I will leave you. Goodbye.
I'm afraid we must go at once. I will join Mr. Bennett and find Lydia before she ruins the family tree.
I always said they were unfit to take charge of her.
Now she's ruined.
You're all
Oh, Mary.
I like Mary as well.
Yeah, she's quite funny. Oh.
So Wickham and Lydia are going to get married, and it's 100
Oh, to see her face.
Whatever it is,
And tell the
pounds.
servants they will
Yeah.
have the punch. Daughter, Mary, is that really all you think about?
Why are they happy about that now when they were so concerned?
Well, because they thought it was going to be kind of...
They were gonna run off and not be married.
Yeah, and pregnant without being wed and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
but-
And bring shame upon the family, and now they're married.
God. And he just wants money.
I feel like, yeah.
He must do alright now though if he's a soldier.
So she might see the ring.
Oh, probably
And I
not.
bowed and smiled like an... She was horrid unpleasant.
Can't you understand why?
But I didn't hear a word. Because I was thinking of my dear Wickham. I longed to know whether he'd been married
Yeah.
to Miss Blue.
Give her the water, take the wine.
He paid for the wedding. Wickham's commission. Everything.
Oh,
Don't
did
tell anyone, he told me not to tell. Mr. Darcy. Stop it, Lizzie.
So he paid it off, sort of thing.
Darcy's not half as high mighty as you sometimes.
Oh dear.
You see my ring?
Oh dear.
He's at the door. Mr. Bingley. Mr. Bingley?
Oh.
Oh, my goodness. Mary, put that away at once. Find some useful employment.
Poor Mary.
Yeah.
She just wants to sit.
Trying to pinch their cheeks, get some...
Get a bit of blush. Yeah.
Mr. Darcy and Mr. Bingley.
Yes, this is how they always are.
Just quietly reading.
Mr. Wickham has been transferred to Newcastle, wherever that is.
Do you hope to stay long in the country, Mr. Bingley?
Just a few weeks.
Are you well, Mr. Darcy?
Oh.
Quite well.
I hope that the weather stays fine for your sport.
I return to town tomorrow.
Well, we must be going, I think.
Oh. He's so awkward.
It's been very pleasant to see you all again.
If they manage to wrangle it though, and she does go with Mr. Bingley and no one goes with Mr. Darcy, then the family would be pretty set up.
They've done pretty well.
She was
Yeah.
going to say... I think you are in great danger of making him as much in love with you as ever.
I'm sorry, though, that he came with Mr. Darcy.
It's so blind.
What do you mean?
Look, it's him. He's back. He's come again.
I know this is all very untoward, but I would like to request the privilege of speaking to Miss Bennett. I must tell you I've been the most unmitigated and comprehensive ass.
He's like, what's going on?
Yeah. He can't keep up. Aww.
1,000 times.
Yay.
Don't know what
She's
you
so
asked her.
happy. It doesn't matter.
It would never happen.
Oh. Aww. Oh dear. She's gonna be sad.
Why?
Well, it's not her turn yet.
Well, not yet.
And he's not really talking to her very much.
Well, he's talking as much as he can. He's socially
Yeah.
useless.
He doesn't sit a lot. Oh dear.
Lady Catherine.
Oh.
Oh.
What's
Crikey.
she doing?
You have a very small garden, madam.
Could I offer you a cup of tea, Sheila?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
I need to speak to Miss Elizabeth Bennet alone. As a matter of
Oh.
urgency. You can be of no loss, Miss Bennet, to understand why I am here.
Indeed, you are mistaken. I cannot account for this honour at all.
Miss Bennet, I warn you. I am not to be trifled with. A report of a most alarming nature has reached me that you intend to be united with my nephew, Mr. Darcy. I know this to be a scandalous falsehood. Though not wishing to injure him by supposing it possible, I instantly set off to make my sentiments known. Do you then pretend to be ignorant of it? Now tell me once and for all, are you engaged to him?
I am not.
But I wish I was.
Will you promise never to enter into such an engagement?
I will not, and I certainly never shall.
I've never been thus treated in my entire life.
So her daughter's meant to marry him.
Misunderstanding.
Oh dear.
For once in your life, leave me alone.
Just appearing through the mist.
Yes.
So romantic.
His flowing coat.
Yeah. It's quite far to walk.
It's a very long walk. You had to walk through that entire bloody field.
I know. Oh dear.
I couldn't sleep.
Nora, my aunt.
Yes, she was here.
How can I ever make amends for such behaviour?
After what you have done for Lydia, and I suspect for Jane also, it is I who should be making amends.
You must know. Surely you must know. It was all for you. You are too generous to trifle with me. I believe you spoke with my aunt last night, and it has taught me to hope I'd scarcely allowed myself before. If your feelings are still what they were last April, tell me so at once. My affections and wishes have not changed. But one word from you will silence me forever. If, however, your feelings have changed, I would have to tell you. You have bewitched me, body and soul. I love you. I never wish to be parted from you from this day on.
It is.
Your hands are cold.
Little nose rub.
Yeah.
Bit frisky.
It's very
Gotta
frisky.
settle down a bit.
He's warmed up a bit.
Yeah.
He's still questionable though. Not gonna lie.
Shut the door, please, Elizabeth.
Talking to her father.
Yes. It's true actually. Has anyone actually asked the father so far for the daughters?
Out of your senses.
I don't think so.
I thought you hated the man.
Yeah.
This would be nothing if you really liked him.
I do like him. I love him. He's not proud. I was wrong. I was entirely wrong about him. He and I are so similar. We're both so stubborn.
Yeah.
Get a grip of yourself, woman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
now the dad's
You really do
crying.
love him, don't you?
Oh.
Very much.
I heartily give my consent.
He just wants his daughters to be happy.
He does, yeah. Aww.
Could not have parted with you, my Lizzie, to anyone less worthy.
How are you this evening, my dear?
Very well. Only I wish you would not call me my dear.
Why?
Because it's what my father always calls my mother when he's cross about something.
What endearments am I allowed?
Well, let me think. Lizzie, for every day.
My pearl for Sundays.
And Goddess Divine. For only on very special occasions.
And what shall I call you when I'm cross? Mrs. Darcy.
No, you may only call me Mrs. Darcy when you are completely and perfectly and incandescently happy.
And how are you this evening, Mrs. Darcy?
Oh. Yeah.
Mrs. Darcy.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy.
The end.
Okay.
Pride and Prejudice done and dusted. Alright, we'll be right back. Okay, so that was our Valentine's Day romance lovely movie. Tell me your opinion and then I'll tell you mine.
It was definitely a lot slower than the movies we've been watching recently. Like it was very gentle, a lot less sort of like crazy things happening, so that was good. It was like a nice change, I guess. It wasn't what I expected, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really know much about the storyline, but I kind of have heard some of the classic things. But yeah, like in the beginning, I think it was really obvious that we were both a bit like disappointed with Mr. Darcy. Like it just.
Well, this is why I was just like, this is not the guy I've heard of.
Yeah, it's just like how he was behaving. Like I was a little disappointed because it was like, oh, like I didn't think that's how he was going to be at all. I guess I thought it was going to be a really classic love story and it was going to be like all perfect from the beginning kind of thing. And like maybe other things outside of them were happening, but it wouldn't be them. But it was quite a cool one to have it like you kind of grow to like them a little bit more. So that's quite good. Yeah, I'm not sure entirely if I'm happy. Like it's nice, like I do love and have them at the end. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't exactly how I thought the story would go maybe. So
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
From a guy's perspective, I don't feel like his arc was that big.
Oh, yeah.
I get the obviously he became a bit more socially competent as it went along, slightly, but still not much. He still seemed like really awkward the whole time.
Yeah.
But his, I guess the gestures he made, right, with the sisters and all that sort of stuff. So maybe he's just not very good with his words.
Yeah.
And is then trying to show it in his actions.
I think so.
If he wasn't rich, would he be able to show those actions? Sort of thing. Like.
Yeah. Well, I guess it wasn't necessarily about the money. It was about protecting her sisters. And so it was protecting family, because like family was so important to her.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. Like, how could that have worked if he
Wickham,
wasn't?
he wouldn't have been able to patch that up to make it good for the sister, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, But no, I mean, it was a nice story. It was just a feel-good sort of thing, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And obviously the acting was good. The music was nice. Who was your favourite character?
Ooh, my favourite character. I quite liked Mary as a background character. Like, she was quite fun, just kind of like the polar opposite of the other sisters.
Yeah.
And that was quite fun. Obviously, like Lizzie, like Keira Knightley. Yeah, she's such a great actress. So yeah, that was really fun to see. I think, and the dad.
Yeah, the dad was by far my favourite.
Yeah, I think he was, very wholesome and just very, wanting to do the right thing by his daughters and not just marry them off for like money and how it would look kind of thing, which it kind of came across like that for the mum. It got a bit tedious, maybe. She was a bit...
Well, he was just like, again, surrounded by a lot of women, right? And
a lot of giggling, lots of giggling girls.
Yes, I was wearing on him a few times.
Yeah, I think so.
But no, he was my favourite one.
Yeah.
Just wanted the best for his daughters.
Yeah.
Seemed to get it as well. So...
Yeah, I think it was a good film. I wouldn't say it's probably one of our favourites, but I think, it was nice. It was good to see a classic and, see what the storyline's all about. So, happy that we watched it.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Okay, well, if you enjoyed that as much as we did, why don't you hit that like button and let us know down below in the comments. And just again, we wanted to say thanks to our Patreons for voting for this. So this was one of their picks over on the polls. So if you are interested in voting in our polls from now on, why don't you head on over to Patreon and check it out. The link is in the description down below, along with our Instagram and our Discord as well. But I think we will see you in the next film.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Thank you for being here.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.